Hello everyone and welcome to another video. In today's video we're going to be looking at modal auxiliaries. And what is a modal auxiliary, you might ask? Well, if you think about a regular auxiliary, it's a word that combines with a verb. And a regular auxiliary typically shows time. So for example, when you ask, what did you do? Even though I didn't use an expression of time, so for example I didn't say yesterday, tomorrow, etc. You know from the auxiliary, what did you do? That I'm talking about the past. So for example, what did you do yesterday? And so that's a regular auxiliary, have, do, and the verb to be. A modal auxiliary is similar in the sense that it also combines with a verb. But it's a little bit different because it doesn't really express time. Rather, each modal has its own kind of function. So for example, we have can, and can typically expresses ability. So for example, when you say, I can play the piano, you're saying that you have the ability to play the piano. I can ride a horse, you have the ability to ride a horse. Should typically expresses advice. So for example, when you say you should go to the doctor, you're telling the person that your advice to them is to go to the doctor. And I think you can investigate the different uses or the different functions of each modal on your own. What I really want to focus on today is 3 rules that I think are going to help you use modals more effectively and correctly. And so the first rule is always use a modal with the base form of a verb. So for example, you should go to the doctor. You see here that we have the verb go, and that's the base form of the verb. So not going or not you should to go, no. The correct form is you should go. And it doesn't matter which modal you're using, the form is still going to be the same. So can go, should go, could go, must go, might go, may go, will go, or would go. And it doesn't matter what the subject is. So I should go, you should go, he should go, my sister should go, the cat should go. It's always going to be the same form. Similarly, Anna is not in class today. She might be sick. So again, be is the base form of the verb, and that's the correct form to use. So not to be, or not being, or not is, or are. Anna might be sick today. For the negative form, we use the word not, and we use the word not directly after the modal. So cannot, should not, could not, must not, might not, may not, will not, and would not. Although typically we use the contracted form, so for example, can't, shouldn't, etc. So for example, here you have I can't swim. This is the correct form. Occasionally I will hear a student say, I can swim. No, the correct form is I can't swim. And finally, in questions, we reverse the order of the subject and the modal. Well, this is a rule that we have in English in general, that when you have a question, typically you reverse the order of the subject and the auxiliary. And a modal is a type of auxiliary, so it's the modal that changes places with the subject. So for example, you ask, what should I do? You see here, in affirmative you would say you should or I should, but in a question it changes order. So should I, what should I do? Or you might go to a job interview and the person interviewing might ask you, what are your abilities? Tell me about your abilities. What can you do? So again, the subject, you, and the modal can have reverse places. What can you do? And so basically I think these are the 3 most important rules to follow when using